I begin each painting by tracing the final drawing onto the watercolor paper. I use a 0.5 millimeter mechanical pencil and a kneaded eraser. I use a light box to trace my drawing. If you don't have one available, you can tape the watercolor paper to a sunny window with the drawing behind. I don't use graphite paper because I find it leaves a waxy coating on the lines that resist the paint. I place the drawing under the watercolor paper and tape it in place. I use a piece of tracing paper under my hand so I won't smudge the paper with the graphite. I turn the lights down so you can see what I'm doing. I trace with a very light touch so I won't put indentations in the paper from the pencil. After finishing the tracing, I blot the entire drawing with a kneaded eraser using a push and twist method to remove any loose graphite. Let's zoom in so you can see how light the finished drawing is. I always stretch my watercolor paper. I put enough water in a baking tray to cover the painting. I got this tray at a restaurant supply store. It's large enough to soak a half sheet. I lay the paper in the water and remove the bubbles. I let this soak for about a half hour. I'll remove the paper from the water and let it drain for a few seconds. The paper is then stapled to a firm board. I use a gator board, which is about a half-inch thick foam board. It is lightweight and the staples hold well and are very easy to remove. I place the paper on my gator board and staple around the edges one side at a time. The staples are placed about 1 inch apart. The paper relaxes when it's wet, so it grows a little bit. Stapling to the gator board in this manner, when the paper dries, it will shrink up and have a very taut surface. This is an excellent surface for painting, as you will not get the buckles that you would normally get without stretching the paper. I blot the surface with a paper towel to lift off excess water. Then I set it aside until it is thoroughly dry. Now I'm ready to paint.